life. Life is possible only when a few essential elements are present. Whether it be in our personal lives or in our faith communities, absence of these basic elements diminishes our well-being and can even lead to death. The first element emerges in what we call grow. It can be a quiet retreat, a walk through the woods, the sounds of God's creation reminding us that we are called to become life-giving, spiritual, transformational leaders. Like a seedling breaking through the soil, extending upward toward the sun, we too, through intentional engagement with God, can grow in ways never before imagined.
Vitality. We all want to be a part of something that is vital. We all desire to move beyond simply surviving to thriving. The second essential element is what we call equip. Like seeing a spark ignite a fire that builds to become a blaze, we can all be equipped in such a way to create places of ministry for new people. Every fire requires an intentional process to burn brightly. Fires need to be fueled, stoked, and tended to stay lit. In the same way, our communities can burn hotter than ever before when we equip them to do so.
Connection. Deep within each of us is a desire to be connected to others. We're so much better together and can achieve much more when we embrace the connection we have in Jesus. The third essential element is what we call connect. Like drops of rain that collect to form new bodies of water, we come together like a rushing river to cut new paths of ministry to those in the farthest reaches of our world. From places like Sierra Leone and to our own backyards, we're making a difference in the lives of those who so desperately need help. Water is life. We're bringing new life throughout our conference and beyond in the ways that we connect.
But there is a fourth element.
And this is the most essential element of all.
You are the most essential element.
You are essential in growing spiritual transformational leaders.
You are essential in equipping new places for new people.
You are essential in connecting each other and the world to Christ. You are the essential element.
To reignite what's gone dim.
To rest and rejuvenate.
To bring recovery to those in need. You are the essential element.
To make new things possible.
To deepen discipleship.
To create worship that inspires. You are the essential element.
Grow.
Equip.
Connect.
These are the essential elements. Hey friends, it's good to be with you again this year. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Kay Cote, and I'm the Director of Equipping Vital Congregations. Many of you remember last year that we got to know each other when we shared the new vision for the newly named Office of Equipping Vital Congregations. You know, we took a look inside our tinderbox, that toolbox for making fire, to learn all about the many ways that we're focused on making new friends. You might also remember we spent some time around the fire where we got to know some new friends there too. And today I have the honor of introducing two friends to you and my colleagues. To my right is Kevin Witt, who is the Director of Spiritual Transformational Leaders and Camping and Retreat Ministries, and to my other left is Jason Mackey, who is the Director of Connectional Ministries. We're going to get back to you in a minute.
Sure.
So, Kevin, you're relatively new to this position, and so tell us a little bit about what you do and what you're about.
Great, thank you, Kay. I've been here for about a year and a half, And my ministry started as the executive director of Camp and Retreat Ministries. And then about halfway into my tenure, I had the opportunity to become also the director of spiritual transformational leaders. So that's what I'm doing.
Great. So, with a title like yours, you must have a lot on your plate. So, what does a typical week look like for you, Kevin?
Oh, you're right. There's just so much that goes on in a typical week. I think it would be a lot better, though, if I showed you rather than I told you. Otherwise, it'd be completely boring. So let's do it a different way.
And how are we going to do that?
Well, let's take a look at a video here of a week in my life.
Okay, great. Let's see it.
Morning devotions are a very important part of my daily routine. My office has become a place of worship as well as work. Times with God keep me much more spiritually centered when I gather with our teams around the conference. And today, I'm actually meeting with the growing spiritual transformational leaders team. They are a very dynamic group that helps shape the direction and opportunities in leadership formation. I also have the blessing of traveling out to our camp and retreat centers. Wesley Forest is one of 5 camp and retreat centers that are a part of our conference, and what a gift they are. Many conferences do not have this blessing that we have. There are a significant number of laypersons as well as clergy who've discerned their calls to Christian service in these particular settings. And today, Emily is hosting Level Up, which is a youth leadership training retreat. I'm excited about a workshop that I'm about to lead with one of our youth.
We also get to develop young leaders who are here, whether they're coming for summer camp or retreats or leadership-specific events. We find that a lot of our young people find a call to ministry or a connection to ministry, or they just want to know more about it while they're here.
When you're open to the Spirit, some very unique possibilities emerge. And one of these is Fly Fishing in Faith, which is a retreat co-sponsored with the Center for Spiritual Formation. Ron Swift is co-director of that retreat, and we are meeting with Bruce Fisher today, who's owner of the Penns Creek Fly Angler Shop in Weikert. Bruce has a real heart for people, and part of his mission in life is Total Outdoors, which he co-founded. Total Outdoors helps veterans recover from trauma through time in the natural world and a supportive community.
One of the things that I would like you to know, 22 veterans a day complete suicide. This is after multiple attempts. This is something that we have to change. This is one of the goals of Total Outdoors. One of the best places to take, especially combat veterans that have PTSD, is up into the mountains, the streams, the lakes, the rivers. Wesley Forest is a perfect place for that. Beautiful 440-acre facility with a gigantic lake and trails. So we're very fortunate to have them as a partner.
Another facet of my job is working closely with colleagues to build upon each other's work. And I'm excited now to be meeting with Keiko Tan from Equipping Vital Congregations and Jason Mackey from Connecting Ministries. We're part of the Grow, Equip, Connect team, and it's just a joy to be working with those two persons. Like many of you in leadership positions, it's very important to find balance. Exercise is one of those practices that keeps me healthy and energized, and I consider it a spiritual practice. Well, thanks for traveling with me to see the range of relationship and impacts that are happening as we grow spiritual transformational leaders together as a conference.
So that was pretty impressive, Kevin. So does that film crew follow you around all the time?
No, they don't. Thankfully, they're not following me around. That would make me really nervous. But I do have to thank that one person who took my 80 basketball shots and got the 2 that I made. That was really nice.
Thank you, Kevin. Hey, Jason.
Hey, Kay, what's up?
So, Jason, you've been around the conference for a while, but you have a new position in the conference office. So tell us a little bit about what you've been up to.
I do. I was born and raised here in Central Pennsylvania, Susquehanna Conference, Harrisburg boy. Took my first appointment in 2007, and I served with the media team here for like 10 years. Hey, team. Good to see you. Yeah, they don't care. Anyway, just came to this position last summer, and I've worked in everything from missions to nominations to safe sanctuaries to finance, and lately I've been moonlighting in the benefits office.
So it sounds like you're pretty busy. So what does a typical week look like for you?
I am. And you know what, Kay? I'm glad you asked. I couldn't let Kevin show me up, especially since the communications department reports to me.
Oh, yeah.
So, team, would you hit it?
2022. I'm here at Shaka CrossFit. It's early, but there's good family, good workout, and this is how I start my day every Monday through Friday. So it's 7:15, and my son is on the bus. I'm headed home to do devotions, and then off to a crazy day.
So it's about 8:30. This is usually the time that I get to the conference office, and I check in with our staff as I go down the hallway just to see what's on deck for the day, how we're doing, what the needs are, and we'll see what we've got to address. Here we go. Good morning, Molly. How we doing today?
Good, how are you?
Good. So what's up?
Well, the kits for annual conference arrived, so we're good to go.
Awesome. So you're going to be stuffing those and taking care of sorting and everything?
Absolutely.
Very cool. Good morning, Ann.
Good morning, Jason. How are you?
Good. How are you? How's that issue that I emailed you on last night at church?
Well, actually, I just found another piece of paper on there that shows that there's 3 checks.
3 checks now. Great. Good morning. Hey, Amy.
Hey.
So, what's the word?
I need to double check some numbers.
Okay.
with you, some account numbers.
Okay.
And then just going over some of the final numbers for the event on Friday and Saturday.
Sounds great.
All right.
I've got a couple meetings this morning, but we'll touch base a little later. That's typically the start of the day, and from here we dive into meetings and into all the work. So we just had a meeting with the communications staff. We're set up for our event this weekend. We've got a couple of screens that we're doing, a couple of mics for the bishop's event. So everything looks good. They do a great job, and that's part of my duties. It's the end of the day, about 4:30 or so, and everybody's gone home. I'm finally getting to my desk. Not uncommon. I bounce from meeting to meeting, checking in with people, but now I've got to crack out a few emails and take a look at what's coming up, maybe for the weekend and the rest of the week. It looks like we've got a workshop this weekend, Friday and Saturday, and then flying out Sunday after I preach Sunday morning. So not uncommon, but that's the bulk of my day.
So pretty impressive there, Jason.
Thank you, Kay.
Yeah,
But-
I feel kind of tired just watching that.
You? I've seen your schedule, Kay. There is no way. We didn't even want to subject the camera team to try to follow you.
And I'm really totally okay with that.
All right. The essential elements of Grow, Equip, and Connect highlight primary areas of focus here in the Susquehanna Conference. I think it'd be really helpful for some of the folks here to hear how we arrived at those intentional elements, how they became foundations for our ministry together.
For a lot of us, last year was the first time that we heard our shared vision statement as a conference, and it reads like this. The mission of the Susquehanna Conference is to grow spiritual transformational leaders, equip vital congregations and create new places for new people, and connect with each other and the world so that alive in Christ together, the Susquehanna Conference will embody the beloved community of disciple-making congregations.
Now, to flesh that out just a little bit more, so that alive in Christ together, the Susquehanna Conference will embody the beloved community of disciple-making congregations. The bishop has identified the 3 areas of grow, equip, and connect as the essential elements to build that beloved community of disciple-making congregations. These 3 areas were introduced last year at annual conference, and alignment is already beginning to take place around these areas of focus so that we can resource congregations for their work of disciple making.
So grow, what does that mean? Well, it means to emerge, it means to branch out, to be fruitful. Spiritual transformational leaders stay tapped into the fertile ground of God's love. And they stay tapped into Jesus' mission to bring abundant life wherever they go. Transformation speaks of dedicating oneself to being changed by love. and to stretch the embodiment of that love wider and wider in circles. And these circles are relationships that transform not only the lives of the individuals, but the entire society. Leadership engages new persons in discipleship and invites those on the path who've been disciples to go even deeper.
We equip in order to be faithful to our mission of the church to make disciples. We must all be equipped to be vital congregations who make reaching new people their priority. Our essential element of equipping is so to stay relevant and competent so that new places for new people come to know Jesus Christ.
And Connecting Ministries is about leveraging the strength of many. When we foster collaborative relationships and ministries, volunteers in mission can reach the farthest parts of Haiti and Bolivia. Disaster response teams can travel all over our conference to respond to flooding recovery efforts. And worship and communications in the local churches can improve. And administratively, we can create safe sanctuaries for all people.
These essential elements are alive in all of our work, and many of the local churches are now catching on, and they're coming up to speed with it. And I'm excited about that.
That's so true, Kevin. And there's so many exciting things happening throughout the Susquehanna Conference. Have you heard about what's happening at the Valley in State College? I've been talking with Tim about some really great things that are going on up there and some of their stewardship work that they've been doing. And they're really finding ways to connect with people in the community and generating some ownership. In fact, it's awesome. I got this cool mug.
So, Jason and I, too, have been working with the Valley around their new faith community. And I just love working with their launch team. They're reaching the nuns and the duns and the de-churched and the unchurched. And they're just really doing some innovative new ministries right there in State College.
Absolutely. And that's interesting, too, because State College is also a place where we do some work with St. Paul the United Methodist Church and the Wesley Foundation at Penn State. And they're inspiring students not only to go deeper in their discipleship, but to be leaders in their campus and leaders in the world.
And Jason, you and I have been working in the same areas right here in Harrisburg in the Equip and Grow areas with Impact Harrisburg.
We have. The journey, as it's come to be known, has been a great word for the work that they've done and we've done over the course of so many months. We've spent time having crucial conversations with churches, doing vitality research of the existing churches, considering what's our ability to reach out and connect with the community and serve in Harrisburg and around. And we assessed areas of spiritual transformational leaders. We looked at congregational vitality and new places for new people, connecting people to one another and to the world. It's all three essential elements.
So let's take a look at how all three of these essential elements have come together to launch this new faith community in Harrisburg.
I'm Chris Legend. I have the privilege of serving as one of the pastors here in a new church being formed in Harrisburg, and I truly believe that God is up to something exciting.
I'm Deb Port. I'm one of the pastors here at The Journey, and I'm very excited about what's happening in this city because God is already at work in this city.
For years, I used to drive around and yearn and pray about serving as a pastor here in the city. I know that God is going to do something incredible and connect a lot of new people to Jesus, and I'm excited to be part of that journey.
I feel a burden for the city that God has placed on my heart, and I am excited about what God will do next in this place.
We exist because we want to create faith communities that are life-giving all across our city. We want to live in the city, and we want to love on and with our city.
So part of what that looks like is we want to connect new people with Jesus. We want to invest in our neighbors and love our neighbors.
We know that your life will be transformed through Jesus and what God is doing here at The Journey.
We're really excited about what God's going to do through The Journey, and we just can't wait to see what happens.
And another area that we cross over in our work that I want everybody to know about is Navigate. It's a tremendous learning experience. It's very inspiring. And last year we hosted that event for the first time. All of us together, grow, equip, connect. And let's take a look at what that kind of event provides for all of you as leaders.
As you can see, we're really excited to share that Navigate is coming to you August 22nd through the 24th, right here in the Harrisburg area at the Radisson. So you don't want to miss this event. It's a 3-day event this time, and right here close. And it's going to be a national, so people are going to be coming from all over the country to join us. So you don't want to miss it. You got a card when you came in to remind you to register.
Yeah, absolutely. And registration is open now. So, check out the backside of this card, susumc.org/navigate. You can go online, and if you register before June 15, you get an early bird discount. You can stay all 3 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I think it's like $1.99. And if you just want to do Saturday, maybe you only have the one day that you can do it. I think it's like $69, and that includes lunch for great denomination level speakers.
So with all that information, the question becomes, so what? And that answer in part is today, you all. We want to give you the opportunity to grow in your own faith as a person, but also as a congregation. And so we really feel it's important for you to lean into your own development, lean into the development of your congregation, and to activate to a greater degree these essential elements.
Some of us are knocking it out of the park in some areas and maybe have some growth opportunities in others. But we want to give you the opportunity to dream about what God might be up to or wanting to do in your church so that you could fully embrace one of these essential elements.
It is challenging. Grow, equip, and connect are all available to us and at the ready, but they mean absolutely nothing without you. You are the fourth and most essential element of all.
So this morning, we intentionally ask you to meet with others who are here from your congregation for this session. And we'd like to give you a few minutes to meet up, to powwow, to talk a little bit about where do you see your next faithful step? Where do you see your next opportunity to grow?
Now, when you came in after lunch today, there should have been 2 postcards in your place. And the second one is the Essential Elements card that gives you the 3 areas to focus under Grow, Equip, and Connect. Take a moment, find that card, and carefully look over and decide which area you would like to commit to putting into action. We're going to bring the house lights up here in just one moment.
We're going to give you some time to process, pray, and think about that. And then we're going to give you some additional instructions when we come back. Now, you're going to notice there's going to be a timer that comes up on the screen. And when it counts down to 0, that means we are going to regather and give you further instructions. But at this point, it's for you, the clergy and lay person, to gather to decide what is your next faithful step based on those steps on your postcard. So take a few minutes. So now is our opportunity in a moment to respond. In a minute, not now, we're going to ask you to move. And when we say you, we mean the clergy and lay delegate together. You're going to go to the same place into a time of table discussions where you'll each have the opportunity to meet with some coaches that will help you enact an essential element in your church that may currently be missing or maybe just needs a little boost.
Yeah, there's only a possibility to begin the conversation just here. We need to go deeper. And these coaches who are making their way in now, you're going to identify them by their shirts. You know, the best ones are blue.
Go red.
Now, you've already done some work, hopefully, in your seats. You've started to focus the conversation. Are you going in grow, equip, or connect to what might be next? But we want to go down even further.
So these elements really are meaningless unless you engage with them, unless you incorporate them in your ministries. And so I just want to say a personal thank you for investing in your congregation in the future of the ministry of your church on behalf of God and the work in the world. Thank you very much for doing that.
The essential element that's making a difference in my ministry is the Center for Spiritual Formation. It's helped me deepen my life as a spiritual leader through the Ministry of Spiritual Direction program and both pastors' Sabbath retreats and silent retreats.
The essential element that is making a difference in my ministry is a simplified accountability structure that equips our church to communicate better, to be more permission-giving, and to expedite ministry.
The essential element that is making a difference in my ministry are the relationships that I've been fortunate enough to build with the poorest of the poor in India. Because of them, I have seen the face of Christ.
The essential element that is making a difference in my ministry with the Young People's Ministry Council is the development of young spiritual leaders within the church.
The essential element that's making a difference in my ministry is sharing knowledge and building relationships. This is how we're building strong communities of faith.
The essential element that is making the difference in my ministry is effective communication. It allows us to cast a clear vision. It enables us to hold one another accountable, and it gives us the ability to be a voice for the voiceless and the hands and feet of Christ.
The essential element that is making a difference in my ministry is camping. At church camp, young people are immersed in the presence of God. They meet Jesus, they follow Jesus, and they emerge as leaders in the kingdom.
The essential element making a difference in my small, stable church is equipping my laity to be the plan and the action that reaches out to our community and builds us one with one another.
The essential element that is making a difference in my ministry is serving in missions in my local community with children, the homeless, and the hungry in Carlisle, and building capacity and education in Millier, Haiti. There I have seen lives changed by Christ's love in and beyond our church.
The essential element that is making a difference in my ministry is training and equipping laity through lay servant ministries, training events.
The essential element that is making a difference in my ministry is moving from maintenance to missional, so we could be followers of Jesus who make new and stronger followers of Jesus.
The essential element that is making a difference in disaster response is having the ability to provide hope and relief while sharing the love of Jesus in the aftermath of a disaster.
An essential element of growth in mission and ministry is when we are surrounded by people, especially other people. For when we do this, we are not only better together, we are stronger together.
The essential element making a difference in our ministry is creating fresh expressions of faith like campfire worship, which allows opportunities for folks who might not darken the doorsteps of a church to still connect with Jesus.
The essential element that is making a difference in ministry, in my ministry, is connecting through mission because it has the ability to empower.
Amen.
Amen.